Kenny Vaughn can tell you anything you'd like to know about long-distance water ski jumping. After all, this native of Beaumont, Texas, has been competing in the sport since he was a kid. But the journey to a national championship hasn't been without its setbacks.
I broke my left thigh bone, tore this ACL, broke my left foot, dislocated this knee. And last summer I broke my ulna in my right arm.
It hasn't been injuries, though, that posed his biggest obstacle to success. That was something else.
Fear of failing. I quit. I gave up. I quit skiing for 5 years.
Beaten and depressed, Kenny put his gear away in a closet and stopped skiing for good. But for the next 5 years, the spiritual problem remained. But then he met Tammy.
When I met her, I wanted to know I could ski. I wanted to show off, I wanted to come out, hey, come look at me. And so I brought her out and showed her I knew how to jump. And once I went over that ramp again, the dream started coming back.
Kenny got back into competition, and after 2 years, he was competing again at the national level. But when he arrived at the championships, those old feelings of inadequacy were waiting. And this time, Tammy sensed that something was wrong.
I could tell just by looking in his eyes and his face at the tournaments that there was something that went deeper.
But she knew what God's word said. He's not giving us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So she took those scriptures and wrote them on my water ski handle.
That was the only way I knew I wanted to give him a piece of that.
But once Kenny started learning to claim God's promises in his life, things began to change.
When I learned to act on God's word, that's when I went from the most fearful really to the most bold.
When the 1996 season came around, tell me what happened.
Yeah, my first, I was gonna have to jump 5 feet further than I'd ever jumped. My second jump, I crashed and then busted a boot on my ski. And with the damage, we get 3 minutes for repairs. I didn't have time to fix anything. So all of a sudden, all the fear was back, and the circumstances were bad. It didn't seem like I had to me, I didn't see a way I could win the Nationals anymore. I just decided I'm gonna do the best I can for you, Lord, until I'm finished. Regardless of my circumstances, I'm going to do the best I can for you.
Surrendering his fear led to a 179-foot jump, a gold medal, and the fulfillment of Kenny's boyhood dream.
I'll always treasure that medal because of what God did for me. But the greatest trophy I have is the spiritual triumph, the being able to function with a sound mind, the power of God's word in my life, and then everything that's come out of it.
Kenny took those verses and began having them inscribed on little dog tags like this to wear around his neck to remind him to put his faith into action. Well, God used those little trinkets to make a much bigger ministry than Kenny could have ever imagined.
Many troops in the field in Iraq are wearing something called Shields of Strength.
On the back of his dog tag were engraved these words from the book of Joshua. Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee.
My prayer is that facing the same fears I was, challenges, and that can be their water ski handle. Had the Lord given me a championship when I was 14 or 15, all I would have to show for it would be a gold medal. That's it. Since I had to come through all the trials and all the hard knocks to get and learn to act on His word, to finally have my dream come true, now I've got so much more character and so much more of the power of His word in my relationship with Him that goes beyond water skiing to encompass my whole life and every challenge or fear I ever face.
And he's not kidding. I got to spend a late night with Kenny out in the South Texas swamps. And take it from me, he no longer struggles with fear. One might wonder, however, about the sound mind part, though.